Hello. Today I just thought I would share a reading, a tarot reading that I did for me yesterday. It's I find it helpful to kind of go through it to give me more practice. And it was really interesting. And I'm still very new to tarot, so I realize that I'm interpreting in my own way. But I guess that's the whole idea. Tarot readers, they will interpret it how it feels in their intuition. So the spread that I did, it's a 6-card spread, and it's to answer 6 questions. So the first question that came up was, where am I currently in my life right now? And the card that I chose, or came up, is the 9 of Pentacles. I don't know if you can see it well. My camera's not the best, but we'll just have to deal with it because that's all I got. 9 of Pentacles. And what I drew from this card, so the 9s are about the race is nearly done, so you can see the finish line in the distance, because 10s are about the end of a cycle, the end of a project, the end of something. So with the 9, it's almost like, well, you can see the finish line in the distance, you know you're going to reach it, and in the card you can see, she's having a rest because she knows that the end is near and that she's very successful. In the card, she's got lots of fruit and vegetables around her, she's got lots of abundance. And Pentacles is about material wealth. It could be money, but it could be material things. It can be related to one of the earth signs in astrology. And so what I got from that, when I look at my question, the first question is, where am I currently in my life right now? What I got from that is, I'm in a state of comfort. I am in a point where I'm taking a break from work and I'm getting a few jobs done at home, so I have no stresses about sitting in traffic at commute. I don't have to attend very stressful meetings and do all that stuff. So I'm in a very comfortable place right now. I'm able to do a lot of rest. I'm able to have some fun. I'm able to try some new hobbies. And so that's where I'm at in my life right now. So the next question that came up is, what important lesson must I learn? So the card that came up is the 8 of Swords, which does not look very good at all. She looks quite restricted. She looks very unhappy. She looks like she's almost in pain. She can't move. So when I look up the meaning of this, so 8s are about, so I still need to use some guides for this because I'm still learning. So 8s are about, it says progress and priorities. They stand for moving forward in a controlled, structured way. So if I, rather than reading a resource, if I just go with my instinct and answer the question of what important lesson must I learn, is that too much comfort is restricted. And the reason why I see that for myself is, if you're too much or if I'm too much in my comfort zone, then I'm not growing. And this is a kind of internal little battle that goes on, because I will admit, I love my comfort zone. Absolutely love my comfort zone. But too much of it is restricting, because I can't grow if I just stay there. And I know that the universe has a lot more for me in store than just sitting home on the sofa and having a day where I watch a film and drink loads of tea. You know, there's got to be more to life than that. So that answers the question for me of what important lesson must I learn. Is too much comfort is restrictive, and doesn't allow me the growth that I need. So the third question that came up was, what risks must I take? And the card that came up there was the 3 of Swords. And the 3 of Swords, I mean, you can see right now they look very miserable in it. The 3 of Swords is usually related to heartache. A lot of times that's what people glean from that card, is it's heartache. So I take it from here, when I'm answering my question of what risks must I take, I actually take it as, for myself, I take it as I have to learn to wear my heart on my sleeve a little bit, and that it's okay for me to let go of emotion and to let go of whatever's holding me back. It's okay to reach out for somebody to maybe help me, maybe someone to talk to, or maybe someone just like they're here, they're consoling each other. And I need to take a risk at being more vulnerable and saying, hey, I need a hug. I need someone to sit and cry with me, or give me a hug, or just help me through whatever I'm going through. And so I think that's important for me, because I would say I'm pretty tough egg. I'm pretty independent. I spent most of my life being independent and being self-sufficient. And I will say that if someone says to me, how are you doing? Normally I'll say I'm doing fine, but I would say that probably 90% of the time that's a lie. But it's just how I am. I'm just self-sufficient, and I tend to think that we're all going through stuff in life. Everybody's got challenges, and I'm no different. So why am I going to sit and cry on somebody's shoulder? But I think sometimes we need to be vulnerable, and that's a lesson for me. And certainly in an astrological way, I was looking up some stuff in regards to my sign, and that's one of my challenges, is learning to be a bit more vulnerable, because I will put up a shell of being this really tough person. And I am a tough person. I've had to be. And I was thinking about this the other day, is that I've, like everyone else, everybody on this planet goes through something. We can have breakups, we can lose our jobs, we can lose our homes, we have health issues. Everybody deals with something. There's not one human being that escapes that. But what I've realized is every single challenge I've gone through, losing jobs, losing loved ones, breakups and all that, I've dealt with myself. I've not had anybody there that I could ring in 3 a.m. and say, I'm really struggling right now. So it made me realize that I'm a pretty tough egg, which is fine, but I do need to be a bit more vulnerable and be willing to let go of that stuff. Because once I let go of the emotion, then I can clear that space for lots of good things to come in, replace it. So the next one on the tarot spread talked about what is the next step in my journey. And what came up is a card that I absolutely love. I think it's so cute. So the next step on my journey is the Knave of Pentacles. And she looks like she's having a grand old time. And the thing about knaves, they're a fractal of us that is, I guess, a little bit immature. Someone who maybe isn't learned, but just says, hey, this looks like fun. Let's just try it. They have no, it's like our inner child. Because usually as children, until someone tells us to be embarrassed or to be shameful for just being, we usually will just express ourselves. So there will be some kids that want to sing and dance and act, and that's just who they are. And other kids will want to express themselves through artwork or through writing or whatever else. And until society or our peers or whoever says you can't do that, or you're embarrassing me or whatever, we don't know. So it's the for the question of what's the next step in my journey, I think is to go back to my inner child and to just look at life in a very simplistic way, saying, well, what interests me? Where does my, where are my passions? And just look at it from very childlike wonder, and just saying, do you know what? I'm not an expert at painting, but I love painting, so I'm going to do it. And that's the way we get better at things. Or even if it's not something that will be a career or a life path for me, but it could certainly be a hobby. So I think that definitely answers that question of what is the next step on my journey. And then the next question was, what is currently unknown to me? So that one was the Queen of Pentacles, and she looks really relaxed. And I'm trying to think, because I did this one yesterday. The Queen of Pentacles. I am going to have to look this one up. So queens are about maternal. It's very maternal energy, and the queens are very good at looking after people. They're very, maternal. The queens are very maternal. So it's a part of me. I guess it's the maternal, has a maternal instinct, which I would say I am quite maternal. I don't have children myself, but I would say I'm very maternal. I kind of want to fix everybody, and I want to reassure people and things like that. So when it comes here, what is currently unknown to me, the queen, it talks about here, the Queen of Pentacles is a quintessential artist or craftsperson. She's the perfect balance of technical skill and creative innovation. Whatever she tries, she will be good at, and she will try lots of things. She finds that the thing that delights her, when she finds the thing that delights her, her hands, and oh gosh, I can't read. Sorry, I guess I need glasses now. But anyway, it's about her just giving things a try and just she's got her own skill. So that actually resonates with me because I've had people tell me, certainly doing tarot readings or doing psychic type readings, that I have skills and I just choose not to see them. So what's unknown to me in regards to the Queen is I have already certain skills, certain strengths, certain things to bring to the table that will help me move forward in my life and get me out of my comfort zone and to shine like the universe wants me to shine. So that's a really lovely card as well. And then the final question in this spread was, what instincts will help me move forward? And the card that I drew there, and actually is one of my favorite cards as well, is another knave. And this one is the Knave of Pentacles. And I just think she's having such a fabulous time. She's having such fun there. So into answering the question of what instincts will help me move forward, I would say again is connecting with my childlike energy and the instinct of going into things with the idea of having fun. If it pans out that this thing that I'm having fun at works out to be a career, then great. If it doesn't, and it's just an interest or just it could be a passing interest, that's great as well. Just to go through things with a childlike curiosity and a childlike wonder. I am going to read, because I did this yesterday, and I did the reading. It probably took me like an hour or two, because I have lots of resources I still rely on. I do listen to my intuition, but then I also read some resources to kind of get a little bit better meaning and glean a little bit more. But the Knave of Swords, she says she's confident and intelligent, and she understands the theory behind whatever she wants to do, and that's all. And to her, that's all you need. She's saying basically, well, you don't need all the letters after your name. You just need the desire to do something and jump in there and do it. And it's interesting because I have in astrology, I have a Virgo rising, and as Virgo risings, we want all our ducks in a row before we do something. So we want to kind of plan it out. We want the letters by our name. We want all this stuff before we actually jump in and do it, because we feel that gives us the grounding. And actually, we feel it gives us the confidence, but that doesn't give the confidence. That's just a bunch of it just means that you sit in classes and you have letters after your name. But it's interesting. So my Virgo rising really appeals to that, doing the classes and doing the courses and doing all this stuff. But that's not going to make me good at whatever I choose to do. So let's take tarot, for instance. I'm going to get better by practicing and just playing with the cards, even if I end up sitting here for 2 hours trying to figure out what meanings I'm getting in the cards. So when it comes to the spread, what instincts will help me move forward? I think just looking at things very simplistically, my instinct to just say, hey, that looks fun, I'm going to jump in and do it. And interestingly enough, years ago, I used to make cakes. And it was more about the decorating of the cake. And I approached that with the idea saying, oh, that looks fun. I think I'm going to do it. And I would just find pictures in a cake book, and I would just copy the picture and make the cake. And that's how I learned to do it. I didn't go to classes. I didn't sit in classes. Now, my cakes didn't look what I call professional, but most people would say it looked very good. They couldn't see the errors. I could see all the errors, but then that's like anything that we do ourselves. But actually, as the more I did it, the better I got, and I could get quicker with certain techniques. And you just learn more by doing. So in all, this was a fantastic spread, and that's how I interpreted it for me. That I need to get out of my comfort zone. In that, if I don't, I'm just going to keep getting restricted. And once I get out my comfort zone, once I kind of clear all the heavy energy inside me, then I can just start looking at things fresh with my inner child and just giving things a go and thinking that, well, just knowing that I will succeed at whatever I do. Whether, as I said, whether it's just becomes a passion. I mean, I love to dance. I wouldn't say I'm a great dancer, but I love to dance. It's for me, it's fun. But it doesn't matter whether I'm good at it. It doesn't matter whether I can make a living at it. It's about my own passion. So anyway, it was a great spread, and I just thought I'd share it because I'm trying to practice, and I also want to be able to verbalize what I'm getting from the cards, again, as part of my practice. So if you've gotten this far, thank you so much for listening, and have a wonderful day. Namaste.